afternoon. Good afternoon. It is March 6th, 2023. And we are live again. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Probably be a little bit shorter today. Really tame day in the market. We saw follow through buying in the morning. And then basically everything just kind of cooled off. And, after a S&P run of 100 points in a day, 2 days, a day and a half. Yeah, about a day and a half. Obviously, you saw some profit taking, some reshorting, positioning for the rest of the week, which should be pretty active. We have Powell in front of Congress tomorrow and Wednesday, starting at 9 a.m. We also have on Wednesday we have payrolls. And then Thursday, hold please. I thought I wrote these down, but I didn't. Ay. Fed Powell tomorrow. Non-farm employment numbers come out on Wednesday, 7:15 in the morning. Bigger one will be jobless claims, initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then a big old number on Friday, the non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. Obviously, Fed's been chirping about how they want the labor market to kind of cool down, so that should give us a little more insight. They say they're data dependent now, so we gotta watch the data, see what happens. I wanted to talk about Silvergate again. I'm surprised it made it through the weekend, not bankrupt yet. But I mean, this thing, it's like a 40%, 75% short interest on this thing. So it started the morning lower, hovering around that $5 mark. Then it had a big rally all the way up to about 635. And as always, reality sets in and people started getting out. Ended the day down 5% after being up about 11%. I guess I'll never really understand. I get trying to play a short squeeze, but on a name that lost all of its customers, lost its ability to transfer, it's a bank we're talking about. Well, that's not the right play. That's not right. I mean, I think today's squeeze is all it really has in it. And the reality just put it right back. So I see people trying to get long this. They're calling for $20. What are you doing? Well, BlackRock's invested, and you think they're going to let it go to zero? Well, BlackRock's let a lot of stocks go to zero. Wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time. Just be smart, please. That name's trash. Signature Bank's trash. I think MicroStrategies, it might be on the chalk being blocked soon. Obviously, Saylor was in bed with Silvergate. I think he is with Signature as well. So I don't think he's immune. I think he has done some shady shit as well. And I also wonder why people follow a guy like that who blew up his company in 01 tech bubble because he didn't see it. And now is basically leveraged to the hills to buy Bitcoin. Like, you can be long Bitcoin and think it's a long-term investment. That's fine. You don't take out $1 billion worth of loans and then offer your company's shares collateral and leverage up that way. One little blow up and he's gonna, I'll call him the double bubble burster. Bursted in 01 and then again in 23. I just don't understand why people follow a guy like that. He's arrogant. If you ever see him in an interview, he gets upset when you ask him questions about Bitcoin. He's always sighing. He looks stressed as hell. I wish no ill will on anybody financially, but I think market doesn't heal until companies and guys like that are out of it. I think the less people following people like that, then the sounder the money in the system is going to be. But I mean, to each their own. I guess, we'll see. But my bet's on him blowing up a second time, because he doesn't seem like the type of guy to learn from his past mistakes, and he's doing the exact same thing he did in 01 again here in 23. And I mean, Bitcoin's at 22.3. It has shown very little interest in a real rally. And if this thing drops back down, or he blows up, or another one of these exchanges blows up, and this thing gets kicked down again, I think you're going to see some serious liquidation, and then it's going to be a long time to recover the whole narrative around Bitcoin. I mean, inflation is supposed to be an inflation head, it's supposed to be digital gold, it's supposed to be all these other things, and it's proven to just not be any of those things and just be a risk asset, like a lot of names in the market right now. It's moving with the NASDAQ mostly, and then we'll have these breakout or breakdown days separate, but ultimately it's just following stocks. It's just another stock. And I don't know. It's a weird world. I don't think our government or the SEC or Gensler or anybody else really knows how to regulate it, what to look for. I think they might actually know more than they're leading on, but my suspicions were that Bitcoin and a lot of these shit coins were all just big money laundering vessels. And it's starting to seem like that's kind of true. If Silvergate was doing it, Signature's probably doing it. FTX was definitely doing it. CZ has got some interesting transfers. So if that all comes out, then, I mean, you better believe they're going to shut down or do their best to try to shut down all of crypto, because if it's just money laundering for bad actors or foreign countries that need to move dollars around, hidden, even though pretty sure you can track whoever's wallet whenever you want. So just do enough forensic accounting and you can see where every coin goes. You just have to put in the time and effort, and it certainly seems like they have the manpower to do it. Anyways, so be careful with crypto. I think we're at an inflection point here of viability versus getting completely shut down. With that said, I do want to talk about one other stock today. I've mentioned a couple times. envx, ENVX. This thing had earnings a week ago. Popped like 210.25 and then kind of came back down and consolidated, put in a nice base. Yesterday or Friday, it had a really nice day. It was up almost 10%. And then to this morning, it had a little follow through and then kind of settled back down. But the difference today versus the past times it's tried to break out is it actually held down pretty well. It held on to its gains pretty well. And if you're looking at the chart, this thing is slowly making a new trend. It's not quite there yet, but if you're early, that's when you really get it. It's fighting a cloud right now, but if this thing gets back up over like 1075, kind of holds, I don't think we're seeing the nines or single digits for hopefully ever. with all these battery fires hitting the news, and now there's talk of the government looking into alternatives and seeing what they can do about this. These guys are positioned perfectly. They've already produced. They have it's called break flow technology, and basically, if you damage one of their batteries, it won't start on fire, no matter how punctured or damaged it is. It'll still hold a little bit of a charge, but it won't start on fire, which is, I think, game changing. It's if you have these horrific car crashes because FSD sucks, and all these cars are starting on fire, this is the perfect solution. They can't scale a car battery yet, but in the next 2 weeks, they're supposed to announce Fab 2 manufacturing, so they can scale and they can start locking in these EV companies. Right now, they're kind of focused on the mobile market. It's I think their TAM's $26 billion. So if they capture even some of that, which they already have, I think a lot of preliminary trials with Samsung, LG, and I forget who the third one, big one is. But they're already, those companies already have their batteries. Obviously, not millions of them, but enough to test devices and kind of put them through the gauntlet of recharging cycles, all that good stuff. But with this break flow, it's two things. One, the densities of these batteries are on par, or even a little bit better than what we have today. Add in the fact that they don't or can't start on fire, and they're also a little bit lightweight and they don't overheat. And these applications seem lightweight and not overheating doesn't seem like a lot, but if we're gonna have augmented reality or VR sets get more and more popular, then the lightweight, high density, cool battery is going to be the leader. There's no reason it shouldn't be. Every device wants those characteristics, so they're in a perfect position right now. And ideally, they kind of had this big reset where former management wasn't very clear and not exactly the best at manufacturing, so they cleaned house 3 months ago. And the new guys are incredible. Raj is one of the best. So their plan is to now announce this Fab 2, get it up and running by spring of next year, and then producing batteries, a lot of batteries, by middle to end of next year. If they hit these targets, they announce where Fab 2 is going to be, how it's going to be funded. If they start hitting all these targets they set out to do, this thing will continue its run, its recovery, I should say. I mean, this was a $25 stock not too long ago, so it's not quite back there yet. But if they start hitting their targets, which I'm confident that they do, then this could be life-changing trade for you. The current market cap is get the hiccups, 1.5 billion. I think this thing can, if they execute, obviously it's big if, we never know until it starts happening, but I could see this being a $15 to $20 billion company relatively quick. So that's 10x, $100 stock. Not financial advice, just an idea. If it goes to zero because they missed their targets, don't yell at me. Thanks. All right, I think that's it for today. I rambled a little bit. So tomorrow is going to be Powell. I think that's going to be important for the market direction. We saw a ton of short covering yesterday or Friday. starting last Thursday, on the Bostic comments. So I think the market's kind of settling in here a little bit, and then we'll start repositioning on Powell. I don't expect him to say anything crazy, but you just never know. But it does seem like inflation's coming back. Crude oil's back up over 80. Soybeans have gone had a big recovery, up almost $1 over the last few days. And obviously PMI, all of our indicators are coming in pretty warm. So we'll see. It's this should be a fun spring, and play it smart. Don't be a hero, and don't get yourself in trouble, and all about fighting another day. So if you're not feeling it, just shut it down. Sit back and watch, and then come in refreshed the next day. With that, I'll leave you alone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably have tons of updates on Powell comments, and we'll go from there. All right, love you. Bye.